Well, of course, we've got more big happenings with Twitter and their head of trust and safety resigning. Now, I'm going to share my take on what I think happened. So, the Daily Wire yesterday said they were putting out the entire movie of What is a Woman on Twitter. And I do think that is a pretty funny movie because, the idea of what is a woman. Matt Walsh asking those people, their honest answer should be they think a woman doesn't exist because those people believe genuinely that it's okay for someone to identify as a woman and then the next day be a male and then go back and forth. If you believe that, you just don't believe in genders in general. So that whole movie is funny because it's just a great representation of such a simple question and just how ridiculous that whole situation is. But I'm guessing this woman, the head of trust and safety, she was gonna get fired, and in her last will, she silenced what is a woman. Oh my goodness, what a hero. You know what? Maybe she'll get hired by Meta now. But Elon Musk, after paying $44 billion to have stuff like this not happen, because you just know if this was the old Twitter and the Daily Wire, number one, I actually don't think the Daily Wire would have been able to post this anyways, because one of the things Musk has done, he's made long form content viewable and even postable. If you have a verified account, you can post longer videos. Theoretically, I could post this video on Twitter. Obviously, it wouldn't matter. I don't have a big following on there, but just in general, I'm saying you can post like 20 or 30-minute videos. When the feature first came out, I remember people posting long-form movies that were like 2 hours. So, in general, I don't think you would even be able to post movies before Elon came along and enabled it. But even if you were, they would completely shut down whatever this is, the what is a woman thing from Daily Wire. They would call it hate speech. Obviously, there are so many issues with that. That is so anti-First Amendment. It is so subjective just to label a tag on anything you find offensive. And Musk is trying to, it's like there's an evolution problem with human beings and social media to where, you could control things and have what you want shared. But is that what's best for the public? No, it's not. There should not be a God system of people at the top that decide what is good and what is bad content. That is how you get a situation, the election manipulation in 2020 with the Hunter Biden story, when they had control of all the social medias, and we had a really unfortunate situation with them silencing that, blaming it on Russia. It turns out, hey, it's true. It doesn't matter, though, because Joe Biden is already in the White House. And then you see Biden falls there. I don't know why. I saw an article on Real Clear Politics, and they were like, oh, this is a terrible moment for Joe Biden. Like, is anyone really surprised by that? Like, Joe Biden fell. That's like the dude's 82. He should be in a nursing home. He's old. What do you expect? It feels like everyone knows that by now, but people made a huge deal about it. I don't know. That's Joe Biden, man. The dude, it's just ridiculous that people that old can hold a position like president of the United States. And I really do think at some point we will evolve past 80-year-olds, being president. I just think the idea of that is ridiculous. I understand the older you get, you are more knowledgeable. I do really value life experience growing up. You start realizing when you were like 17, 18, oh my goodness, you're really stupid at that age. And I'm sure as you continue to grow up, when you're 32, you're like, when I was 24, I was dumb. Definitely you get smarter as you get older. But at a certain point, if you get up to be 80, come on, guys, that's just ridiculous. But I thought this story was funny. Think about Elon Musk. The dude spends $44 billion, and the exact same thing is happening to Twitter. And he's like, no, no, no. And then the woman who probably knew she was going to get fired, she resigns instead of getting fired. It's like, you can't fire me, I quit. You can't fire me, I quit. I'm going to Meta. I'm going to Zuckerberg. That's what she's saying. But I guess that was her last wish, to silence the What is a Woman documentary on Twitter. And then she tells Elon Musk, "You cannot fire me, I quit." I think Biden needs to invite her to the White House. I think that's what should happen after this. But I'm just trying not to take this stuff too seriously. It's all, I certainly like what Elon Musk is doing, in terms of freeing social media. And, now the big question is the advertisers aren't liking it. It's a big issue. Elon's having problems because if you're going to have free speech, there's going to be some speech that's not the best, and advertisers don't like that. It's the same problem that YouTube had, and unfortunately, YouTube originally didn't really stand up for the creators and put their foot down. They immediately caved and said there's no swearing in videos. Thankfully, since then, they've kind of said, well, you just can't swear in the first 15 seconds, but the videos still will be able to have ads on them. I think the ad situation when it comes to Twitter, I really hope it just gets solved by blunt force. And what I mean by that is I hope that Elon Musk and other, companies and social media platforms, this is very optimistic, but I hope this is what happens. I hope they just say, this is the United States of America. We believe in free speech here. If you don't, want to advertise, you're perfectly right. Go to China. Advertise there. You will not advertise for our consumers. We're not going to censor ourselves to enable advertisements. If you don't like that, if you think that there's bad content that you don't want to be associated with, your brand doesn't want to be associated with, you can go to China, you can go to another country. In America, we believe in free speech, whether it's on the internet or not. That's what we're going to have here, and I really wish that was the way it's solved. Unfortunately, you do still have like Instagram and Google and stuff, and YouTube is a great platform, certainly, but I really wish they were really had an emphasis and realized how important free speech is, especially after all of the stuff that happened during the pandemic when they were banning people for information that turned out to be true. At a certain point, you just have to admit, all right, guys, we were wrong. This is serious. We are ruining people's lives because we're banning them, and it's information that turns out to be true. We really have to rethink how we do this, and we have to put our foot down and tell advertisers, this is the United States of America. Again, if you don't like that we believe in free speech on the internet, you're going to have to go to another country and advertise. That's the way I want this to be solved. Again, unfortunately, different social media platforms have different rules and stuff, and I understand that. And then the other thing that we're seeing, I don't know if this is really that big of a deal because I don't remember last June if the MLB had their Pride logo the entire month. I don't think they did, but I really don't remember. But you can see after a day, there's a lot of people that I do think Musk being on Twitter and taking over, it has emboldened people to really say we're sick of this virtue signaling, we're done with it. And again, I'm not sure if this is a different deviation from what the MLB usually does. If they have the Pride logo up all month, I feel like that'd be an overkill. That's like 1 month out of that's a long time in the middle of a season to change your normal corporate logo. I don't know if they actually do that. But then you also have, this is a very interesting tweet, and I would love to kind of explain the dynamic on how this is kind of a false equivalency. It says, honestly impressive how the organizing principle of right-wing outrage went from let's complain about cancel culture to let's cancel everything and no one on the right even batted an eye. And you can see the Chick-fil-A thing, the Target backlash, the rapper dude, and the go woke or go broke. So I do think, corporations are well within their right to support whoever they want, support whatever movement they want, but corporations have to understand, and those people that are making these decisions to support certain things, if you're going to play the political game, you're going to get political reactions, right? If you want to be loved by everyone, my number one word of advice, do not talk about politics, because you will make someone mad no matter what. And if you're a corporation, you don't get to have your cake and eat it too. You don't get to virtue signal and be rah-rah one way and then say, oh, why are they protesting? Well, because they're the other side. And this isn't a cancel thing. This is, if you believe in this, we're just not going to shop there and we're not going to give you our money, and, you can deal with the losses. You chose that political position. So if you're going to get political, if these corporations are going to get political, that's fine. That's their right. But it's also the right for the consumer to not shop there because they don't support those same positions. This is all very simple, it feels like. So I do not think that's the same as trying to, flat out cancel someone. That is just a decision by a consumer to not shop somewhere where they feel the corporation and the company don't align with their values, so they don't want to give them money to promote that type of thinking. That's kind of how I see that situation. But, a lot of this stuff, it is what it is. And then look at this. This is beautiful. We got Sam Smith and Madonna teamed up for a new single. Oh my God, Madonna is sexy. Wow. That is hot. She's aged so well, guys. That is so beautiful. But yeah, just wanted to talk about kind of the situation surrounding the movie getting censored on Twitter, and the woman in her last, I don't know, I don't think anything's come out about her resigning, but, it does seem like she knew this was coming. The Daily Wire announced it, I think, that they were putting out this movie last night, and then she immediately had it, what does it say? Visibility limited. This tweet may violate Twitter's rules against hateful conduct. Elon Musk literally spent $44 billion to have this stuff not appear, for a video like that. Like, what is a woman? And then in her last breath on Twitter as an employee, she silences it. She should win the Nobel Peace Prize for this. Come on. But it's just funny. I don't know. Either way, guys, Elon Musk, he ended up, promoting it or whatever. And, it does have a bunch of views at this point. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.